I didn't know who to tell, so I just kept quiet. Little did I know, it would only get worse when I got home from school. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special video for you. It's an emotional story that will leave you speechless. It is about a strong girl named Ava who finds hidden cameras in her room and faces unimaginable challenges. He was just an innocent kid who loved playing video games. They thought she was making it up or had been watching too many thriller movies lately. She needed answers and she wasn't going to rest until she got them. But when she got home, she noticed that something was different. Betrayed and furious, she vowed to find out who was behind this and bring them to justice. Instead of the anger and disappointment she had braced for, their faces were etched with worry and understanding. They pulled her into a tight embrace, apologizing profusely for their previous dismissiveness. Her mother's voice trembled with remorse as she said, "We never meant to hurt you." Ava's confusion only grew. "What truth?" she whispered, her voice laced with innocence. Her father sighed, knowing there was no easy way to deliver the news. "Your brother, Ben," he began hesitantly. "He's not our biological son." Ava's mind reeled in shock. "What?" she exclaimed, struggling to comprehend their words. Her father continued, his gaze fixed on the floor. "We adopted him after your grandmother passed away, and we believed that telling you would cause unnecessary complications in your lives. We thought it was best to keep it a secret." Ava felt a whirlwind of emotions crashing over her. Betrayal, confusion, anger, and ultimately, a deep sense of sadness. The realization that her entire life had been built on a foundation of lies shook her to the core. Trust, once the bedrock of her relationship with her parents, had crumbled into dust. Looking at them now, she saw not just the people who had raised her, but strangers whose motives were shrouded in secrecy. Their past actions, once justified by love and protection, now seemed like manipulative tactics to control her life. The revelation of Ben's adoption had opened a Pandora's box of deceit and betrayal. Ava grappled with the realization that the family she had always known was nothing but a web of lies. As she navigated this treacherous landscape, she knew that the journey to uncover the truth would be long and arduous, but driven by an unyielding spirit, she was determined to find the answers she deserved. The thought of facing her parents and admitting that she was wrong gnawed at her conscience. The revelation of Ben's adoption had shattered the illusion of the family she had always known. Now she was faced with the daunting task of piecing together the fragments of her past and forging a new path forward. As the weight of her parents' betrayal settled upon her, Ava withdrew into herself. The once vibrant and cheerful teenager became a shell of her former self. Her laughter faded, replaced by an eerie silence that echoed through the halls of her once happy home. The trust that had been the cornerstone of her relationship with her parents had been irrevocably broken. Every attempt they made to bridge the divide was met with a cold shoulder from Ava, who remained firmly entrenched in her self-imposed exile. The revelation that Ben was not their biological son reverberated through her thoughts like a haunting refrain. Ava found herself questioning everything she had ever known about her family. The faces of her parents, once symbols of love and affection, now seemed like masks hiding sinister intentions. She grappled with feelings of betrayal and anger, struggling to comprehend why they had kept such a monumental secret from her for so long. In the depths of her despair, Ava sought solace in her friendship with Ben. Despite the turmoil that had engulfed their lives, the bond between the siblings remained unbroken. Ben, with his innocent and trusting nature, offered a glimmer of hope in the darkness that had enveloped Ava. Together, they shared their pain, their fears, and their dreams, finding comfort in each other's presence. She knew they would be disappointed and angry, but it was the truth and she owed it to them. With newfound determination, she resolved to confront them and uncover the truth. Her parents weren't home yet, but Ben was supposed to be here. Where could he be? She thought maybe he had gone out to hang out with some friends, but that didn't make sense. He wouldn't just leave the house unlocked. Something was wrong. As she cautiously explored her surroundings, she noticed small signs that indicated that someone had been rummaging through Ben's things. The drawers were pulled out, clothes were scattered around, and his computer was open. A chill ran down her spine. Could someone have broken in and taken her brother away? Had he gotten into some kind of trouble? Or was there something more sinister going on? Ava couldn't shake off the unsettling feeling that something was terribly wrong. Determined to find out what had happened, she began searching the house for clues. But as she turned toward her brother's room, she noticed something that made her heart skip a beat. The door was slightly ajar, which was odd since Ben always kept it closed. With a mix of apprehension and curiosity, she pushed the door open and stepped inside. The sight that greeted her was both shocking and disturbing. Hidden underneath Ben's bed was a tangled mess of wires and electronic devices. Realization dawned on her like a bolt of lightning. It wasn't just a stalker. Someone had been living in Ben's room, using it as a base to spy on her every move. They tried to convince her that there was nothing to be afraid of, but their dismissive attitude only made her more determined to find the truth on her own. She didn't know who to tell, so she just kept quiet. But Ava still decided to confront him because he was the only person she could think of who might have done something like this. When she asked him point blank if he had put the camera in her room, his eyes widened in shock and he immediately denied it. He swore on his life that he didn't know anything about it, and he looked genuinely confused and scared. Ava hesitated for a moment, torn between her suspicion and her brother's innocence. Perhaps she was wrong. Maybe there was another explanation for the hidden camera. Just then, Ben spoke up, his voice trembling slightly. "If I'm being honest, I did see a camera in your room once, but I didn't put it there. I swear, I found it while I was playing hide and seek." He looked down at his feet, ashamed. "I'm sorry if I scared you, Ava. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to play a prank." "I'm sorry," he apologized, hoping she would understand. But Ava wasn't buying it. "You didn't put it there, but you did find it. Someone who knew how to use it against me," she said, realizing the gravity of the situation. This wasn't just a prank. Someone was watching her, spying on her every move. But why? And who would want to do that? Her mind raced, trying to come up with a solution. But what's really shocking is that the person who betrayed her was someone she never expected. So make sure to watch till the end because there are many plot twists that you don't want to miss. And please don't forget to subscribe so you can become part of our amazing community. Ava was your typical 16-year-old girl. She loved hanging out with her friends, going to parties and just having fun. Her parents were always busy with work, so most of the time she was alone in the big house. But recently things had been off. She could feel it in her bones. Someone was watching her every move. At first, she thought it was her little brother Ben, but then she started finding things in her room that she didn't recognize. There were weird wires coming from the curtains and strange devices hidden under her bed. One day, she found a tiny hole in the middle of her closet. This discovery left her shaken and confused. Why was there a camera in her room? Who had put it there and why? These questions kept her up at night, but the more she thought about it, the more scared she became. Could this be some kind of a stalker? Was her privacy being invaded? What else didn't she know about? The thought of someone secretly spying on her filled her with dread and anxiety. She couldn't imagine who would do such a thing or why they would choose her. The feeling of vulnerability and betrayal was overwhelming and it made her question everything. She had always felt safe and secure in her own room, but now it seemed like a complete illusion. She was determined to find answers and put an end to this mystery once and for all. So she decided to take matters into her own hands. Meanwhile, her little brother, Ben, had no idea about any of this. When Ava went to her parents for help, they didn't believe her. The realization hit Ava like a ton of bricks. Someone she trusted had been spying on her, invading her privacy and violating her sense of security. As Ava confronted her parents, their reaction was far from what she had anticipated. After confronting her parents, Ava found herself at a crossroads.